Alright, in this video we are going to be analyzing update 6 new things once again, but in this video we're going to be talking about a new fighting style and a new devil fruit. So first, let's talk about the fighting style. It is the Dragon Claw fighting style, which is seen to be used by Sabo in One Piece, and it actually looks like a really cool and somewhat of a unique fighting style. The fighting style is definitely more melee based, being made up of entirely close ranged moves, dealing high damage, and here's the kicker, the entire kit being made up of guard breaks, obviously except for things like the counter, which is not a guard break, and a move that simply increases your entire damage output by 25%, which obviously also can't really be a guard break. But off of what I just said, that it sounds like a really good fighting style, and it also looks like one. So you have moves like Dragon Fist, which are just generic close ranged punchy type moves that are a guard break that deal decent damage. You have moves like Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw, and those are also really good moves that also guard break. And Dragon Rush is a short range dash that also guard breaks. And you're given Dragon Claw Stance. Now, Dragon Claw Stance, as I said, gives a 25% damage multiplier, which I believe applies to everything, including weapon and devil fruit, which could be really good if mixed with some higher damage alts. So that's something nice, because again, a percentile based increase would be better on alts that do more damage than alts that do lower damage. So yeah. The ult itself also cinematically looks really good, but I don't really know how good of an ult it really could be. It reminds me sort of a Marrow ult, how it's very short ranged. You would just find yourself honestly up tilting or just M1ing into it, and then it would do some good damage and then knock them away. And that's sort of it. It gets a cool cinematic, but it's like nothing super insane. It's just pretty cool. I don't really want to go in detail about every single move that it has, but just know that you have punch moves, you have short range dash moves, you have small circular AoE moves, you have multi-hit moves, and you're also given a grab cinematic ult as well as a damage multiplier and a counter. The counter, also the animation for it looks really sick. I just want to go in detail about that for a second. You grab their fist, twist it, and then throw them. That's cool. I really like this. But let's get on to the really unique part about this fighting style, other than how many moves it has, and into the fact that it is actually buffed by another fruit. So yeah, a fruit and a fighting style that correlate, go hand in hand. It is a really interesting concept, and I really do like it, as well as the fact that it's canon with One Piece, because Sabo, spoiler alert, skip 10 seconds or 15 whatever seconds if you don't want to hear this, Sabo uses the Mera no Mi as well as the Dragon Claw fighting style. So he is able to up his fighting styles abilities and enhance it with Mera, which is really cool. And you're also able to do the same. Now, it's primarily lackluster for the most part, but some things are actually pretty cool. So to start off, all of your moves, well, some moves will apply flame, yeah, and they will all have like an orange glow to them instead of the generic white. And Dragon Claw Stance will now put burn damage onto your M1s. You'll set your fists on fire when you do Dragon Claw Stance, which is a really cool addition that I like a lot. But for the most part, you're mainly just getting flame added onto your moves, as well as your fists will glow now. I think it is really cool. I like it a lot, and I really can't wait to see all of the things that people can do with Mera and Dragon Claw, considering the fact that, hey, just because you can use Mera with Dragon Claw does not mean it's going to be the best thing for it all around. I am sure there are people who are still going to prefer Roku Mera simply because of that Roku dash, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm just saying this adds a whole lot more, especially with a fighting style like Dragon Claw that really specializes in one thing a lot. It'll be nice to use with other fruits like Goro and like Paw. Just having that really close range, high damage, all guard break kit is going to be really nice and complementary to either fruits that don't do a lot of damage and have a lot of combo ability, or fruits that are more ranged, and that's how they rely on their damage, because that way you could get best of both worlds, a fruit with a high range and then a fighting style with a low range, high damage guard break situation, which is really nice to see. I like that a lot. But anyways, now let's get to talking on the Yami Yami no Mi, or the dark fruit, which is obviously, if you don't know, used by Blackbeard in One Piece, and it is a really cool fruit as well. Now, I'm not super happy with this fruit, if we're gonna be honest. A lot of its moves look kind of boring and generic, and they're kind of lame, if we're being honest. They did do one cool thing, but we'll touch on that in a second. I don't really know which ones are guard breaks. I can't remember. I watched that video a while ago when they showed off the moves, but for the most part, a lot of moves will multi-hit. They don't seem like, again, it's hard to tell with these things how much damage they do. It was easier to tell with what's it called? It's easier to tell with the fighting style, because fighting styles cap a lot sooner with strength. So yeah, but devil fruits, it's kind of difficult because every devil fruit will scale and cap differently, while fighting styles, you know, they're a little bit closer with how their strength caps and never usually exceed a certain amount of damage. As well as it was easier to tell because of the flame ticks, and you know, flame obviously does a decent amount of damage no matter what. But regardless of all that, it's hard to tell how much damage it does, but we do know that, you know, it multi-hits, it's stun based. They did give it a traversal move, which was kind of odd. I thought it was really weird they decided to give Shadow a not Shadow, Darkness. It was really weird they decided to give Darkness a traversal move. How they handled it was very interesting though. You get a 50% damage negation when you're inside of it, which obviously, you know, correlates with how Dark works in the anime, in the sense that you could absorb. Actually, now that I think about it, that doesn't make sense, because in the anime, the Dark Fruit will absorb damage and amplify it for the person, but nullify their Devil Fruit abilities. So it's sort of backwards. The traversal move will give you more damage resistance. I don't know why, now that I think about it, but hey, I'm not going to complain. It's kind of weird. They did not go for a very canon kit on this one, but I guess it is what it is. At least I don't think. Regardless, you have sort of a tendril move that you can use. You are given a multi-ticking move that has a good range in AoE that does guard break at the end, which is very cool. You're given a move that's somewhat similar to Gravity Dominance from Zushi, and it'll kind of hold people down. There is one move that I'm not very happy about at all. It's the ult. I don't like the ult. I think it's very lackluster and very boring and very sort of like expected almost, that's what we received. I don't like it all that much. You just create a giant ball of darkness and then proceed to throw it. Again, there's nothing unique about that. There's 1,000,001 ults in this game that do that. Mera does that, Goro does that, Paw does that. It's just kind of annoying that we got another one. Even Fishman Karate does that. So anytime we get an ult like that, I'm not the biggest fan. They always try to put a bigger twist on them, make them barely different. You know, Mera's does high damage, but it's a little bit smaller. Goro's is a little bit bigger, does a little less damage. Paw gets shrunk down and you get damage negation while you create it, but its blast is huge. Fishman Karate makes water droplets when you chuck it out. I don't even know what the difference between the darkness one is. It just looks like a ball that you throw, and it kind of is annoying that it's like that, but hey, it is what it is. There's also one other move where you kind of create a pillar of shadow and then you suck up all these rocks and then chuck them out. It's sort of a multi-barrage, which looks really cool in a PvE standpoint, but for PvP, I can't really tell if that's good or bad. Kind of looks decent. Anyways, this fruit, I don't think looks very good. I definitely like the reveal for Dragon Claw a lot more, but hey, again, it's a fruit. It's a little disappointing, especially for a fan favorite like Shadow. You know, there's a few fruits that they're supposed to be a little bit, you know, fan favorites. I feel like have a lot of a higher bar. You know, Gum was a nice reveal. Everybody really liked that. Quake was also a really cool reveal at the time. That was really cool. Paw, people liked Paw for the most part, but not a whole bunch. But Shadow, I feel like Shadow, not Shadow. I keep calling it Shadow. Dark was kind of a letdown, but hey, that's just my take. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any other opinions than me, please, you know, don't hate. Just say your opinion, say your thoughts, talk about it in the comments, whatever you guys want. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.